The Sahara Desert. Overview of the desert biome. The desert biome had the highest temperatures, the least amount of rain, and the lowest humidity. The flora and fauna of the desert biome have adapted and learned to conserve water. The desert biome has the most extreme weather, and some species that can be found there are foxes, camels, lizards, snakes, and scorpions. So here we have 4 pictures. The first one shows the Sahara Desert on the map, and it's in North Africa. In the second picture, you can see a colocynth, which is a bitter apple found in the Sahara, and it's an example of a plant. In the third picture, we can see camels and how they're used to get across the desert. And in the fourth picture, we can see a sand dune. A fun fact is that the Sahara was a lush savanna with lakes and rivers 6,000 to 11,000 years ago. The Sahara is the largest and hottest desert in the world. It is made up of basins, oases, plains, plateaus, mountains, sand sheets, sand dunes, and sand seas. The organism that we chose was the camel, and here are its adaptations. So first off, it has a hump where it stores fat, and the fat can be converted into energy and water when resources are scarce. They have thick fur to deal with extreme temperatures, as the temperature in the Sahara Desert fluctuates a lot. It goes from -4 degrees Fahrenheit to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. They have broad, padded feet, and it stops them from sinking in the sand, and it also helps them just get around in the desert. Lastly, they have large, tough lips, and it enables them to pick at dry and thorny desert vegetation.
So the explanation of characteristics of the desert with the help of AI. So the desert is a biome with very less rainfall. The soil here in this region is sandy, rocky, and gravelly. Plants are adapted to survive with little water because in this area there is less water. And along with plants, even animals have to conserve water and regulate temperature, as the temperature is really high in this area. And there's low net primary productivity in the desert. Uniqueness of the Sahara Desert. So the Sahara Desert is the world's largest hot desert. And it could get really hot or really cold in this area. Environmental features and the landscape in the desert are sand dunes, plateaus, mountains, and oases. And it's home to a specialized and resilient plants and animals. And this place is really rich in natural resources. This is our AI image that Canva created, and you can see a camel feeding on desert plants along with gazelles, and this shows an interaction in the desert. Specific conditions influence adaptations in organisms. So the extreme heat and solar radiation in the desert would require the animals to have adaptations and characteristics to let them survive in such extreme weather. So the fennec fox has long ears that cool down the body so it could survive in the heat. And there's very less water in the desert, so the camel's storage of fats in its hump would let it conserve energy for a longer period of time, and it could use the energy over a long period of time. The food availability in the desert can be limited because the plants are not that rich in nutrients. So the plants that these animals feed on should be drought-resistant plants so they could be rich in nutrients.
And now the 3 biomes that the camel would find difficult to survive in. Number 1 is the tundra, and it's because of the lack of plant life and food for camels. And there would also be mobility issues with their foot structure. The second biome we chose was the tropical rainforests, and that's because they lack specific vegetation for camels, and they're also not adapted to high moisture and humidity. The camels also would have trouble going through the forest floor. The third one that we chose was the taiga, and the camel's unsuitable for the wet environment there, and it would also have a hard time navigating through the forests and trees. So here are our citations. And at the bottom you can see the prompt which we put into Canva AI to get our image. Thank you.